What's going on, everyone? Aaron Loves Wrestling. This is my quick review of Collision Dynamite. Great week for AEW, and I enjoyed both nights. Collision was really good. We had Swerve Strickland come out. He came out for the to talk a little bit, get interrupted by Young Bucks. Young Bucks utilized the EVP powers to set up a match for Swerve, and he faced Vanilla Blake Christian. And Swerve and Blake had a pretty good match, and I enjoyed it. It's interesting to see Swerve wrestle in the street clothes, but I like that part. I like that he was in the street clothes, and it was just randomly set up. And like, all right, Swerve, let's see if you can do it without your ring gear. And he did. He came out victorious. He won. He defeated Blake Christian. Young Bucks didn't like that. They attacked him in the ring. And then you had a guy out of pro wrestling come out, Kenny Omega, the cleaner. He comes out and helps clean up shop, and he helps Swerve fight off the Young Bucks. And I think later down the road, we will get it either on a Dynamite, probably on the spring breakthrough. I think that one is where we'll probably get Omega and Swerve versus Young Bucks. I really do. So keep an eye on that. I think they're going to set this match up great. This is going to be a great tag team match between the four. So hopefully we get that set up soon. Might be on the Double or Nothing pay-per-view. So that would be great to see. Next, we had the Toni Storm versus Queen Aminata match. A great women's match here. These ladies put on an excellent match. And in the end, Toni Storm won. And she shook the hand of Queen Aminata. And Aminata has earned Toni Storm's respect. They both earned each other's respect, and I really do believe later down the road, Queen Aminata will be a champion. I really think she should get the Ring of Honor Women's Pure Championship. She should be the first one to hold that title. She's a great talent, and she's really good in the ring. So I think Queen Aminata will be a great fit for that Ring of Honor Women's Pure Championship, maybe even the Women's World Television Championship down the road. And even Ring of Honor Women's World Champion. Maybe she could be the one to dethrone Athena. But this was a good match for the ladies. I enjoyed it. Next, we had the Max Caster versus Hologram. It was an open challenge. And, of course, Hologram answered. And Hologram's great talent. Love him. I love the entrance. He's great in-ring talent. I think we're really going to see him at Grand Slam Mexico. I think we will. Hologram comes out on top in this one. Max Caster, bro, you gotta step it up, bro. These open challenges ain't working for you. You gotta do something. So I like this. I like this match though, and Max Caster is really great on the mic. He worked the crowd on the mic, and he's a great in-ring competitor as well. So we're gonna see the rise of Max Caster one day, but these open challenges, bro, ain't working for you. Gotta change it up. Gotta do something, man. But that was a good one. Next, we had a tornado tag match. And it was Top Flight versus CRU, with Action Andretti and Leo Rush. And this match wasn't bad. It was okay. Just the one thing two things actually that took it away from me from this match was Leo Rush used his chain, which was very thin. It was like that thin. And he wrapped it around his hand, and he was punching one of the Top Flight guys, and to me that you can't sell that. I'm sorry, that didn't work for me. And then when they pulled out the tack bag, and you're thinking thumbtacks, and it's Mardi Gras beads because they're in New Orleans. Again, that was just ridiculous. Just please not do that again. Please don't. I think that was pretty ridiculous for them to use that. And if they hate me on this, sorry, but come on, just use thumbtacks. I mean, we had freaking John Maxley a month ago go through some spikes. I think y'all can handle some thumbtacks. So I just disagree with the whole Mardi Gras beads. Thought it was corny. Thought it was goofy, and didn't make any sense. But overall, it was a good tag team match. A lot of good high-flying spots in this one, and some good high-flying wrestling. I enjoy the high flyers, and Crew comes on top and wins. Andrade and Leo Rush. And one thing, I'm not digging the jackets, y'all. I'm sorry, but it was a good match though. It was a great, good tag team match. Then we had the return of Anna Jay. Man, I'm so glad she's back. Anna Jay has returned, and she faced a local competitor. She obviously won as a quick squash match. And y'all know my opinions before from the podcast before. Squash matches, I don't like them. I think they're pointless and they don't elevate anyone at all, in my opinion. That's just me. Maybe some big guys, your giants, but in the end, I am not a fan of squash matches against local competitors just to throw them on TV. I don't like it. But it's nice for that local talent to get on some national television, get exposed. Maybe we'll see her in the future one day in AEW. But Anna Jay wins in her return, rightfully so. But out comes Penelope Ford, and her and Jay have a good history. And then you hear the entrance music of Megan Bayne, and it distracts Anna Jay. Penelope Ford attacks her. And one thing that kind of got me chuckling on this was Megan Bayne just kept doing her entrance with all the entrance gear, while Penelope Ford just beating the tar out of Anna Jay. And then Megan Bayne gets in, does her thing, and they both stand tall. I really think this is going to set up the return of Tay and Jay. We're going to see Tay and Jay back together, and we'll see Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne versus Tay and Jay. It's going to be great. Tay Conti and Anna Jay, they used to be a team back in the day. Tay Conti returned to in-ring action a few months ago, and in New Japan, I believe it was, or Stardom. Can't remember which one it was. But she returned in the ring. That's the only match she had. Maybe she had another one, if y'all can correct me on that one. But she's back, so she's good to go in the wrestling world. So I think we're going to see a good tag team match. This will be a good way to get Tay back into the AEW mix as a good tag team match. She can do her thing and with Anna Jay, and she don't have to do a full match by herself. And I think this will be good for her to get ease her way back in after being gone for so long. So then we have the match of the night for me, Bandito versus Dralistico for the Ring of Honor World Championship. These two guys killed it, man. I love seeing Bandito in the ring. Bandito is one of my favorite talents on the AEW roster, and I'm glad he's Ring of Honor World Champion, rightfully so. And I really love Bandito. Maybe one day he can hold some AEW gold, the International Championship or something like that, TNT title even. Hey, I'll go as far as the AEW World title, but I would like to see him hold some AEW gold one day. But this was a great match by these two guys, fantastic match, and Bandito comes out with the win and over Dralistico, and it's going to be great to see them guys at AEW Grand Slam Mexico. So, and then we had the main event, FTR versus Paragon, which was Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. And one thing I would love to point out is that they have the End of Heartache by Killswitch Engage as their theme. And man, I love Killswitch Engage, and it was great to hear. I love how AEW has that flexibility and an option to use bands that they like, that matches them, and even their own guy that makes the themes. They're just way better than the other company's themes. The other company, they got some themes where they're just so generic and they sound similar, and you really got to look to see who's coming down the ramp, who it is. They got some that stand out, but most of them is just similar tunes, similar styles. I love how AEW allows their wrestlers to choose and will even purchase the rights to these songs so the wrestlers can use them. So I'm glad that they got to use this song, especially Killswitch Engage. Like I said, one of my favorite bands to listen to, especially in the gym. But this is a great tag team match by these guys. Great match overall. I love FTR, and I even love Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. They are great tag team competitors. And FTR comes out on top, and of course attacks Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. Here comes Adam Cole and Daniel Garcia, and Daniel Garcia tells FTR every week he's coming out. He's gonna attack him any point he can get. So maybe we'll see Daniel Garcia team up with somebody, maybe even Adam Cole, and they'll face FTR. So that was a good AEW Collision review. AEW Collision, it was a good night, and I like to point out I'm not a huge fan of the ratings, but it was a good. I read online that they had 700,000 strong viewing that night, and that was really good, especially after the NBA playoff game. So I really enjoyed AEW Collision. We got another Collision coming up this Saturday. So Let's get into the AEW Dynamite review. Dynamite last night was a banger, and it started off with a banger of a match with the 8-man All-Star Tag Team match with Kenny Omega, Kevin Knight, Mark Briscoe, and Mike Bailey versus Young Bucks, Okada, and Ricochet. And it was a great 8-man tag team match. There was one point where there's like an 8-man suplex in the ring. That was fun, and there was sometimes there was just chaos going on. Everybody was everywhere, and you're like, what the heck's going on? Man, this was a great 8-man tag team match. And in the end, Okada wins and pins Mark Briscoe. They won the match. Ricochet assisted Okada as well and pinned Mark Briscoe to win for their team. And so this is the end of it. But I also wanted to point out too, Kenny Omega's entrance, bro. That was a fire entrance, and no pun intended because of the pyro, but that was a great entrance. And I love that Battle Cry is back. Please, Omega, keep Battle Cry. I love that entrance theme. So it was great. Next we go to the Ops versus some local talent as well. There's a little squash match, and Ops come out victorious. And here comes the Death Riders and attack the Ops, but the Ops stand strong and fight off the Death Riders. And then Samoa Joe lands out the challenge. Steel cage between him and Moxley at the Spring Breakthrough on AEW Dynamite. That's in about 2 weeks. Steel cage, so there's no outside interference. Bro, I wonder if this means Joe is going to win this AEW World Title. I wonder. A lot of people are expecting Moxley to hold the title till AEW All in Texas, but a lot of people expected Kyle Fletcher in the finals against Will Ospreay. Now Will Ospreay winning going to AEW All in Texas. That didn't happen last night, and I'll get to that here later on. And a lot of people thought Jamie Hayter was going to lose to Chris Statlander last week. That didn't happen. So AEW is being really unpredictable. Like, you don't know really what's going to happen. You can make all your predictions and think it's so predictable. Like, a lot of people predicting Mercedes Moné to defeat Jamie Hayter. I don't think so. I think Jamie Hayter's going to win, and we're all getting Jamie Hayter and Toni Storm again for the AEW Women's World Title. Hopefully Jamie Hayter wins, but that's me. I think so. A lot of people picking Moné. They're like, oh, it's Moné because she's not going to lose. She's going to get all them belts. I don't know. I really don't. I think we're going to see Jamie Hayter win. We're going to get Toni Storm versus Jamie Hayter at AEW All in Texas for the AEW World Women's Championship. And then we'll probably get Athena versus Moné for either both titles on the line, the Ring of Honor Women's World Title and the TBS Championship, or just the TBS Championship. And maybe Athena will win in her hometown. But Samoa Joe laid that out. So now we got a steel cage match for the AEW World Title between Joe and Moxley at AEW Spring Break in a couple of weeks. So that's going to be great. Next we get Toni Storm faces Miyu Yamashita. I hope and pray I said that right. If I didn't, excuse me, I'm sorry, no disrespect. But hopefully I said that right. But it was a great women's match again. Toni Storm comes out on top again and wins. And speaking of Mercedes Moné and Jamie Hayter, here comes Moné. She comes out and cuts a little promo and talks about how she's going to win the Owen Hart Women's Tournament and then defeat Storm for the AEW Women's World Title and add another title belt to her collection. And then you had Jamie Hayter come out and give her a big right hand. It was about to give her the Haterade, about to give her that clothesline. And it didn't happen. Moné was able to escape. Hayter then looks on to Toni Storm, so maybe we'll see them have, again, I really think Hayter's going to win. I really do. So don't think it's too predictable. I think we're going to see some unpredictability in all this. So just keep watching and stay tuned. And this is a good way to keep people coming back and watching to see what really is going to happen. Because a lot of people who think it's so predictable, they're not going to watch or care to watch because they think, this is who's going to win. But when it turns out that doesn't happen, well, you just missed it. So this is really good to keep the crowd in tune. But, okay, what is really going to happen? I really love how unpredictable it is. I really do. So then we have MJF. MJF and the Hurt Syndicate. Again, MJF trying to get in the Hurt Syndicate, and I really don't think he's going to. I really don't. We get the thumbs up from Benjamin and MVP, and then we get to Lashley, and he kind of teases it's going up, and then he says no, it's going down. And then MJF gets upset, and ask, "What's your problem, Bob? What's going on?" and this and that. Then Lashley, I love the intensity from Lashley. I really do. Bobby Lashley, this is the kind of guy we should have saw before in the other company. This is the kind of guy we should have seen before. Um, because this Bobby Lashley I love, and this intensity with him come and pushing MJF against the corner of the turnbuckle, and said that basically in order to get in you got to hurt people. Now we're going to see what MJF is going to do. So I still don't think he's going to get into Hurt Syndicate. I really think there's a lot of talk online talking about Cedric Alexander, and he's going to come back, or he's going to sign with AEW, and then he's going to return and join the Hurt Syndicate. And we'll get the full Hurt Syndicate back together, Hurt Business. So we'll see them back together in full, and I really hope we get MGF and FTR. I really do, especially with the addition of Stokely. Him and MVP can have some outside the ring engagement, and I really think that would be a great way to set up for MJF with FTR and get the Pinnacle back together. But a lot of people are saying it's Hammerstone and I can't remember the other guy's name, but they were a team in MLW, and that would be great too. I love Hammerstone. Hammerstone is great. If you haven't watched him in MLW or in TNA, man, you're missing out. That dude's awesome. So it'll be great to see him in AEW. So then we go from there to let's see. Then we go from there to the Ring of Honor World Championship. Nick Wayne versus Jay Lethal, which before they had a little backstage segment, and we got the match for the Ring of Honor World Television Championship, not the Ring of Honor World title, sorry, Ring of Honor World Television Championship. And first we get Nick Wayne coming out, and then his entrance get interrupted by Papa Christian Cage. So he comes out and interrupts the entrance, and then Nick Wayne goes out there, and we get Jay Lethal coming out. And it was a great match. It was a good match. Jay Lethal is great. I love Jay Lethal. He is a really good wrestler. Watched him in TNA and other companies, and Jay Lethal was really good, and he did a great job with Nick Wayne in the ring. And Nick Wayne comes out on top, wins, and keeps the Ring of Honor Television Championship. And then here comes Christian Cage and puts the belt around him. I really do believe we're setting up Christian Cage versus Nick Wayne for the Ring of Honor Television Championship. And then also a stipulation, whoever wins the title, the loser is kicked out of the family. And then Christian Cage is going to lose, and then we're going to see him eventually reunite with Rated R Cope, and then we're going to see them two back together, and we'll even possibly face FTR down the road. I don't know if it'll be all in Texas. I'm not sure. We're getting close, so I don't know how quickly they can set that up. We got a couple months, but we'll see this happen. Maybe at Double or Nothing, that's where we'll see this match take place, and then see Christian kicked out of the family. So let's see. It's interesting. Very interesting story going on here. And Nick Wayne's a great talent for how young he is, 20 years old, I think. He's got a future. He is very talented in the ring, and him in that match with Commander for the Ring of Honor title on the last Collision a couple weeks ago, that was a really good one. So great future for Nick Wayne. I really do believe he is going to win some AEW gold himself as well. And then you got Kip Sabian and Mama Wayne at the side. So you can still keep the family together without Christian Cage. Which Christian Cage, I don't believe, is actually his father. But yeah. So then we get the main event match of the night. I was on the edge of my seat the entire night. Adam Page, my boy Adam Page, comes out and defeats Kyle Fletcher and proves everybody wrong. And of course, it was in his hometown, in his home of Virginia. And what a match! It was great. It went a little over TV time, and I loved that because it was a great wrestling match altogether. And a lot of people were saying it's Kyle Fletcher. Kyle Fletcher's going to win. This is how they're going to do it. We're going to get Will Ospreay versus Fletcher again, and then Will Ospreay's going to win. He's going to go to All In Texas and face Jon Moxley. Again, a lot of y'all were wrong, and I kept telling everyone since the beginning of this AEW, of this Owen Hart Cup Men's Tournament, Page is winning. And a lot of people say otherwise. And they're like, no, he's going to lose to Cal Fletcher. He's not even going to get past the first round. The first round's going to be like MGF, or it's going to be Jeff Jarrett, or it's going to be, some even said Swerve. And Adam Page is not going to win. And since the beginning, I said that he was going to win. Now he's in the finals. He still hasn't won it yet, so I still could be wrong. But he is in the finals, and I am excited, and I am happy. So I'm so glad to see Adam Page win and even get his time. He was wrongly screwed over a few years ago when he had the AEW World title the first time. A lot of people say it was his fault and this and that. He's the one that did the shoot. Yes, he did. But CM Punk and the whole drama backstage with the EVPs and the Elite, even Chris Jericho, and that whole drama, that to me put that tainted his world title reign, and it kind of lost the momentum, and it lost a lot of momentum in AEW in general when the whole thing happened. The crowd was split, and everybody was either Team AEW or Team Punk, and it was a whole disaster from the beginning. And yes, again, I agree. Yeah, Adam Page is the one who did that shoot promo, but in the end, he still shouldn't have waited this long to be AEW World Champion. And I'm gonna keep pushing the message to push Adam Page, because he to me is the face of AEW and represents what AEW is all about. And I really do believe him being the world champion would be way better, and a lot of people would tune in and watch. And I'm just hoping for a good future for Adam Page. I love him. I love his in-ring work. I love his character. I love the cowboy get-up. I really hope we get an AEW All in Texas. He rides in on a horse. That'd be freaking awesome. Bringing the horse back. So, great week for AEW. Great match last night. Again, Adam Page wins and moves to the finals to face Will Ospreay. That match is going to be a banger. It's going to be a fantastic match, and I can't wait to watch it. And I'm so glad I'm off work that weekend. I can enjoy the match that night, or the Double or Nothing pay-per-view in general. So, if you're not watching AEW, y'all, you're missing out. Got some great stories going on, some great matches. And ignore all the naysayers, ignore all the critics. Just tune in and watch and just love pro wrestling. That's my message, and I will keep preaching until the end. I love pro wrestling, and I just hate all the negativity that a lot of people say about pro wrestling in general, not just one company. But I just love pro wrestling, and I love AEW, big fan of AEW, and I can't wait to go on AEW All in Texas. I'm going to be there. So hopefully I see a lot of you there as well, and I can't wait. I'm going to enjoy it. So great AEW Dynamite, great Collision. We got another great Collision coming up this week. Some good matches set up down the line. So tune in for that. Thank y'all for watching. Have a great day. Have the rest of your week.